is what were the major challenges universities encountered in migrating to online learning, and were they able to mitigate those challenges? Sir, you are on mute, sir.
It's good to ask this question at the beginning because, as you rightly said, we have from innovation or a new technique, we have shifted to new normal. And technologies like WebEx, technologies like Zoom, or use of these softwares has become very common not only in universities and colleges but also in schools. And my grandson, who is now in fourth standard, he has been attending classes throughout this pandemic time where the lockdown was there, and he was put to attending classes for sometimes 3 hours a day, which was rather pinching to me. And I have also talked to their school teachers and principals that what are you doing? You must, if for very small kids you have to take these classes, they should be for less duration and not continuously. You should engage them in this process. So the challenges basically before the universities and the colleges were how to reach the students, and especially in such universities where students come from all over the country, reaching them was a very difficult job. And therefore, they were forced, all universities and colleges were forced to use this as a medium, internet as a medium, and they succumb to this pressure. And in the pressure, they adopted a technique which I was rather promoting for the last 10 years, and people were not listening to me. So they were hesitant to use this medium. And whenever I used to tell them that why don't you have a program fully online or maybe through video conferencing, they used to say, what are we going to do? And Indian people don't like this method, and nobody will listen to us. There is no internet, there is no connectivity. Who will join us? Who will teach us? Who will join on the other side? Who will become the expert? And why should they become expert on online method? So they had 20 reasons not to use this methodology. And now they have 1,000 reasons to use this methodology.
That's something very interesting, sir. This COVID has really changed the how the world is being perceived.
Mindset of the people, yeah.
Yes, sir. Uh, Sir, it is felt that higher education today needs a radical reboot that balances the trinity of cost, quality, and scale, sir. Sir, how far do you feel that online education will be able to achieve this goal of massification of education? And this has been enshrined in this new education policy of 2020, sir, also.
Yes, you're very right when you say that 2020 new education policy emphasizes the role of online education and distance education, and even to the regular programs, which are brick and mortar programs, university programs, UTD programs, college programs. For all of them, they say at least 30% of the component should be online, and they should be motivated to, students should be motivated to either use MOOCs or any other methodology to go online, or the teacher themselves should take their classes online, and their 30% of the component or the syllabus should be completed through online medium. So in fact, now it has become a part of our life to go online, which was the wave in USA between 1995, I would say 95 to 98, 99. They started going online, and till 2005, about 1,500 American universities became online.
Yes, sir.
And till today, now there are more than 3,000 American universities which have started their programs or the courses online. But their definition of online is little different than us. There they say online courses are no cheaper, and there will be very less interaction, maybe once a week or twice a week, maybe once a week only. And your fees will be not less than $500 per credit. And each course is 3 credit, and you have to complete minimum 40 credits. So the course fees would be something around $40,000, $30,000 for the semester. and you have to complete 4 semesters. So even in online programs, if you complete 4 semesters, your fees would be something like $1,50,000 or $1,20,000. For cheaper programs, for cheaper according to US standards, for cheaper programs, you will end up paying $1 lakh, which is something like 70 lakh rupees in Indian rupees for completing online program, which is also not fully online. There also they have not matured this technology and matured this method of they are still asynchronous in the method. There are no synchronous programs fully gone into synchronous or the asynchronous mode, and they are still not completely online. So our definition of Indian education of online will be, it's yet to emerge. And what will happen? We will start with 30% of teaching online, and fully online programs, which recently UGC has given permission to, is in a process of giving permission to about 100 odd universities which came in NRF first 100 universities, and all those universities which have a NAC score of more than 3.26, that is A plus score, and the 15 open universities of the country which got the permission to start online programs through an automatic route. So these are the universities which are going to start it from January. I feel January, but actually they will be able to start their programs by March or so, because the process is yet to get complete, and still the permissions officially has to come. Last year, UGC has given permission only to 8 universities, and they had started online programs, but as you know, the response was very less. And now, since immediately about 120 universities are going to get the permission, but I don't think all of 120 universities will start their online programs this year. They will take about 2 to 3 years to gear up and prepare themselves to go actually online. While the meaning of online is there should be no interaction from the university, brick and mortar university. Your admission should be online, your fees should be online, and once you register automatically, they should take you to your courses. And once you start taking courses, your material should be online, your videos should be online, your classes should be online, your discussion with your colleagues should be online, your periodicals, that is tests, should be online, and maybe ideally speaking, your final exam should also be online, and your result and the degree should be available to you online. But since, as I told you, most of the European, British Open University, European universities like French Open University, German Open University, American Open Universities, like I can tell you with more confidence because I'm also an active member of United States Distance Learning Association, USDLA,
Yeah.
and I represent that in India. So as since I'm in connect with them very keenly, or so therefore I can tell you with confidence, they have not started fully online. So to come and fully online program in India, it will take really good time. But as you say, as you have asked me a question that how this will go to the masses. Now this is the only medium. My answer to your basic question is this is the only medium available to actually go to masses. And as you informed in my introduction, that instead of going fully online, because I know in Madhya Pradesh, still since my students come from very far-flung area, remote areas and villages, tribal villages, where normal telephony is not there, normal 2G, 3G is not there. So there is no question of having a good mobile phones with them, and so that they can learn through mobile. So therefore, I adopted to, after a good research, I adopted to use television as a medium, because television has more than 98% of penetration in our country. And therefore, I used this medium, and my those classes were very successful. And out of 1 lakh student we have, almost 80,000 students attended my classes on regular television, that is DD Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah.
And not only that, with this experiment we did much before the COVID, as if you can say as if we knew that COVID is going to come. So we did this experiment long before much before the COVID came. And maybe to your surprise, the Madhya Pradesh government higher education department has taken all our television lectures, and now the same lectures are going to be retelecasted to the students of Madhya Pradesh, BA, BCom, BSc, about 10 lakh, 1 million students of Madhya Pradesh every day. And they are attending those classes nowadays, right from 7 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning every day.
So my next question to you is just a result of what you answered, sir. The one thing that is there, as you rightly said, that the online courses in foreign countries are quite evolved. Do you find that there's a hesitance in Indian students joining the Indian online programs? A. B. The second part of this question is that if we don't start the online programs and if the students are hesitant, whether the government vision of having a GR, gross enrollment ratio of more than 50%, will be able to see that sun of the light of the day if we don't go into online programs, sir?
Yes, you are absolutely right. You have very pertinent questions. You have asked both the questions. The first is, what is the hesitation of joining online in India specifically? Now, Indian psyche so far has been attending a class where physically a teacher is available. And we don't feel that something has been taught to us. We don't feel satisfied. Rather, I would not, I would say, we don't feel satisfied unless somebody has taught us. So in front of us. So that is what is my experience with my grandson, which I was referring to you just a few minutes ago, and the school going children, that you know what they do. I also saw a kind of, not joke, I would say a cartoon kind of thing. Earlier, when people used to bunk classes, they used to go away from the classes. And now what the people used to go, they just put off their camera and they say, I am in the class. So they are attending, they are listening to the teacher, and by putting off their camera, they are bunking the class. So this is, of course, pros and cons of using online methodology. But let me tell you this very frankly to answer your first part of the question. The basic hesitation is we must feel satisfied when the teacher is good and when the teacher is taking an interest and students are equally interacting. So the teaching method has to change in online learning. Also, pedagogy has to change through online learning also. Online medium only puts you in connection with the students, but how will you teach them? If you start taking the same blackboard and your back is towards the camera, students won't attend you. Same teaching methodology, what you have been doing in the classes, if you start doing that in online mode also, people won't attend the class. So hesitation is, do we get a satisfaction? Hesitation is, do we have the laptops? Do we have the resources? So hesitation is, do we have the connectivity? Do we have the lives? I have seen nowadays, these are the days of webinars, and we are attending every week almost. I'm attending and speaking in almost every week, 3 to 4 webinars. So most of the webinars we find either somebody has put their presentation on, so you don't have a control, or somebody joins and they are all off the camera, so you don't know how many. You can see that 100 people are attending, 200 people are attending, but you don't know whether they are actually attending. So there is no discussion, hardly any discussion is going on. Secondly, most importantly, the hindrances, do students feel at home while attending the online classes? So it will take some time. As you said, this is a new normal to discuss. I would not have come to your Bombay office and given this lecture if you would have taken a lecture in Bombay amidst COVID. Since you are, and probably I heard that you are somewhere else, your office is in Bombay, and I'm sitting in Bhopal. So this is the medium which brings us together. So this is a new normal, yes. And it will take some time for our students to actually cross this hindrance and hitch, that do we learn online or should we learn online? So this is the answer to your first question, part A, that this is there. And part B is regarding the GER, whether they will be able to, if you don't use this medium, whether we will be able to achieve the target of 50% GER in coming next 15 years. Actually, at
Yes.
the maybe in between, we'll discuss what are the strategies to use online medium to increase GER. Later on, we'll discuss. But let me tell you, this is the only medium where massification is possible, where
Right.
you just cannot get away with this. You cannot see or you cannot say that without going online, we'll achieve the target of 5,000 additional students each university. So there are almost 1,000 universities now. Actually, recognized universities are 965 or odd, but
Yeah.
there are some other institutions which are working as universities. And now deemed to be universities, if you include, there are about 1100 or 35 or 530 universities in India. So if each university wants to add 5,000 more students, so my target of 5 million students, which is the topic of our discussion, is already achieved.
Right.
Is already achieved. So it's not big deal, but only that. But do you think that all the 1,000 universities or 1,100 universities will start online program? No. Permission has been given to only 100. Permission has been or maybe given to only 100 by this year end, by this cycle of permission, maybe by today's November 6th, maybe by January 15th, we'll hear from UGC as to which universities got the permission and which universities have not. But this is the only medium where there is a possibility of going to large number of students at the same point of time.
Right.
If you, I would like to quote an example of my friend who is a vice chancellor and also a professor of management in MS University Baroda.
Okay.
He has classes of BCom, and there are probably 20 sections of the same class. He starts teaching from the morning, and there is no method. They have to engage 20 professors to teach the same topic, same subject, same day. Now, is it necessary to have engaged 20 professors? Can't we have a method where a professor is teaching from one place or his laptop or the maybe actual hardware camera, video conferencing camera, and the same video is showing to all 20 classes simultaneously? So this is the only medium. And what about those who are in distance learning? What about my colleagues? Because I belong to an open university and I have 1 lakh student, and all distance learning universities put together in India, there are now at this point of time, there are 5 million students.
Mm.
So how to, the question before the planners of education policy and also the Distance Education Council and UGC, Distance Education Bureau and UGC, and in front of us is only that how to increase our GER or distance education GER from 5 million to 10 million. And that is what is the biggest question today in front of you and me, for which we are here to discuss something and talk about it.
Very rightly said, sir. Uh, I completely agree with you that online learning is not only the next big thing, it is now the big thing. And as I was just reading one of the reports which said that the market in India is projected to rise to be approximately around $14.33 billion in 2024. And this market is rising by 21% every year. Sir, my question to you is, the online market, as you rightly said, is the only method that the online learning is the only method by which we can reach to the students and to the learners. What strategy or strategies should be deployed to promote online learning in India? A, at the university level, sir. B, at the state level, sir. And C, at the national level, sir.
I think, Mahesh, I would like to come to this question or answer a little later. Let me give you in 2-3 minutes a basic idea about what is actually online learning.
Right,
Because there is a misnomer about online learning.
right, sir.
What people think that by connecting like this, they have
Hmm.
already joined online learning.
Hmm.
So using Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft Team or maybe any other method, maybe Facebook or YouTube or downloading the videos from the YouTube and using them in the classes is no online learning. Is no online learning.
Right.
This is a very different kind of approach people are using, and people think just using these methods have put them into online bracket of online learning education. This is online information sharing.
Right.
This is online dissemination of information. And otherwise, if you want to learn anything, you go to YouTube or you go to any other method or MOOCs, or you can join MOOCs and you can learn. So is the learning okay? Has the learning happened? So the first thing we have to ask, whether we use this medium which you call internet, through internet medium, which you call automatic medium, which you call internet based medium, or you can use any name to use it. You have to ask first question, how and how much has the learning happened with the students by
Right.
using this medium? So that is online learning. And even to maybe to your surprise, the legal requirement in India, even at this point of time, is absolutely minimal. What do I say by minimal is, out of the 4 quadrant UGC has asked us to use for online learning, the first is putting PDF online.
Hmm.
PDF material, if I have to read a material through, if I can read a book through online method and learn everything, what is the need for me to go to university?
Right.
There is absolutely no need.
Hmm.
If I have to just watch a video, and maybe you can connect that for this chapter only, this is the video. That is the benefit professors are going to do. And this is going to be a big task of professors in the coming next 2 years in India. All university professors are required to, in their syllabus, what they are going to offer to university students, college students, they will have to write, one, the textbooks, two, the reference books,
Right.
three, the video lectures of each chapter, fourth, the case study of each chapter, and then they will have to also talk about the web resources for each chapter.
Right.
So this is going to change. Our syllabus making is going to change. Our resource sharing is going to change. But I would still stick to my old definition. This is information sharing.
Hmm.
So how and when and where the learning, actually online learning, is happening? Online learning is happening when the teacher is actually giving concept, one, supported by the book the student reads, two, which is PDF, what they have given. Third, the video they take, all at 10%, still 30% of learning. We have to still go to 70%. Then give them an exercise where student is going to solve the problem themselves. Where? In an online method, through the open discussion board. What does it mean? Where all the students, or maybe group of students, like the NIAM, like in our classes of management in universities, what we do? We make a group of 5 students, tell them you solve this portion of the case.
Hmm.
Every group will present their case. So when the discussion is going on in an online mode with a moderator, amongst the students who are all prepared, have read the material, there the actual learning is going to happen. And how much emphasis have we given to that kind of learning, which contributes almost 30 to 40% of actual learning? And remembering what we call earlier, very early memory studies done by Ibingos, a psychologist, in 1870, way back in 1870. He says, whatever we listen in a class, we remember only, I'm sorry, we remember only 5 to 7% of that class after a week. What we view, we remember only 20% of what we have seen. What we do, listen, view, and do, then we remember about 50% of the classes. And then when we do an exercise or test, then we remember about 65% or learn 65%. And what if I am dragged back after a test is done, which is online, and I'm dragged back to the concept that you could not learn this concept, and I relearn that and come back to the same question again, then my learning would be 85% to 90%. Now, this is a real online learning. I'm sorry for taking this time from you, but hardly we have paid any attention to this online learning. And let's come back to what did you ask? What are going to be the strategy
Yes.
for learning online? So first of all, we have to use a standardized platform. So far in the world, Moodle has been a free platform available, which is an open source platform. And many universities, many software companies have developed their own platforms. Moodle has some limitations. It is difficult to connect Moodle with the payment gateway. That is not, it does not have that patch available in Moodle. There are online tests also you cannot connect to Moodle. You can put all the material, you can put the test, but synchronize each thing together, Moodle has a lot of problems. So, but it is the most popular platform in the world at this point of time. If you just ask 3,000 American universities, or maybe over 200, 300 UK, and I'm sorry, European universities, which platform are they using? Probably 90% of them will say Moodle because it's free of cost. Because it's free of cost. And it does contain most of the basic material which is available. So first strategy for anybody to go online would be to use a standardized platform which will have, number one, adequate material, number two, which will have all the facilities for audio video interaction, number three, which will have inbuilt test system, number four, which will have inbuilt attendance and monitoring system, number five, which will have a sessional test and online exercises, and which may give you some results at the end, which will have statistics about what, that how much is the learning of the student. So this is about the first strategy, strategic standardized online platform. Second strategy for going online for all the universities would be to test and mature this platform and give it solid training to your professors how to create an online course. Very, very important. If you don't teach your professors how to create an online course, it's no point talking about online material because everybody will put whatever they think is necessary and it will be garbage in, garbage out, even at online platform. So we have to avoid that. And the third, most importantly, which I wanted to come little later, but I can talk about it, actually use good marketing and branding for your online program. Unless you use good marketing and branding, and it all depends like how good universities become good universities. Why do you say Delhi University is the best at this point of time? Why the cutoff is going to 98%?
Yes.
When I was a student of Delhi University, our cutoff was going up to 96% when I was a student. Now it is coming 99%. And even at 99.99%, people don't get admission in the first list, second list. Now there are 6, 7 lists which are coming. And the lowest which comes to 97%, 98.5% or 97%. So it has gone very high. If I would like to take admission again after 40, 35 years, I think I won't get admission now in any way in Delhi University. So what is all about it? Why Delhi University is number one? Why any other university is number one? So like physically, they are the best teaching institutions in the country, like IIMs you take, like IITs you take. Why they are the best places of research? Basically because they are using the latest research and they are applying those research into practice in their teaching and industry. So this, similarly, you will have to create same kind of environment in online learning. Only these strategies will take them to a good online learning program. Else, you know what will happen? Like between, if you remember, between 2005 to 2015,
Yes.
there were mushrooms of management institutes in India, and now they are closing down.
Right.
So everybody started MBA. They thought it's a very profitable business. And most of the businessmen entered in this area, no academicians, to start a B school. And they thought they will make good money. And once they realize that there is no money for the next 6 7 years, they shut down their businesses and shops and they ran away. So similarly, online programs will start over the night and they will close down one after.
So, one view that you very rightly said, to make online learning effective, it is very important that we should include the topic of like learning by doing. Apprenticeship kind of model should be there. Do you feel that apprenticeship embedded online learning programs should be the call of the day?
Oh, yes, you have come to a right question, and which I would love to give an answer to this. So let me quickly take you to 5 learning styles, because you know what happens when you learn, you don't know in a class which student learns how a student learns. So unless you know what are the learning styles of your students, you cannot create a material. Apprenticeship is only one of the styles of learning. There are 5 learning styles, common learning styles in online learning technologies, which are apprenticeship, incidental, inductive, deductive, and discovery.
Right.
So these are 5 learning styles. So apprenticeship is only one, but this is very important for technological institutes like engineering, polytechnics, ITIs. If they wish to go online, unless they have apprenticeship model and they have asked their students to go to the industry and take apprenticeship for 6 months or 1 year, their degree is not complete and their actual experience is not complete, which is what our new education policy is saying. You have to take them out of the class. Don't bombard them with a lot of lectures in the university. So give them a space, give them an opportunity to go in the field and learn themselves, learning by doing,
Yes.
which is what you mentioned right now. So apprenticeship is one model. Yes, you have to offer them, but how will you offer in an online method? So there are new technologies which are coming up, like you said, embedded technology. And in MIT, the Hypermedia Lab was started just to make this a reality about by 1995. In 1995-96, they started Hypermedia Lab in MIT. And they started doing some experiments there. Now, which has come up to the level by doing experiments with edX and other platforms in US, UK, India, and everywhere. Now they have come to a conclusion that there is technology called augmented reality and virtual reality, AR and VR. So the AR and there is a third word which is now catching up in the academic world is mixed reality. One is augmented reality, one is virtual reality, and now they call it a mixed reality. This is mix of these two as well as looks like actually real. So therefore, it is a augmented as well as virtual reality. So unless they, but it is very difficult to create such experiments, I tell you. Just to create for medical student, just to create a heart of the size of the heart, an actual, it looks like actual heart of the human body, and just pump like what human heart pumps. It takes hours and hours of study. Those technologies have gone where by 3D Max Studio, you could have created this. New softwares have come, new languages have come, and just by doing these languages, you have to do it. I would say India will take another 7 to 10 years to come into to actually implement this technology into online learning space. There will be some people who will start doing experiment. In fact, I have heard that couple of IITs have started doing the experiment already. Like IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi have already started working on this area, AR VR area, and they have started setting up labs. In fact, I am trying to do one lab setup in my open university for my science student, BSc students, because you know in BSc botany and zoology, especially BSc zoology, those dissections you cannot do in open learning system. There is hardly any method for the students to learn online dissections. So I'm trying to build a facility of augmented virtual reality where they can do some experiments, maybe 4 or 5 to begin with, but they should do this experiment. So
Yes, so
embedded technology and augmented AR, VR are going to be an integral part of our online learning, but it has some time to come. If you're talking to me in 2020, I would say better ask me this question in 2025.
This was one of the questions that was asked by one of our participants, that with
Yeah.
online education, how will the practicals be possible? And you very rightly put up in a right perspective, sir, that how it will be possible, sir. Sir, one of a very relevant question that comes to, there was a traditional notion that of 25, that 20, in a human being's life, 25 years goes into learning, 25 years goes into earning, and 25 years is a retirement age. And this doesn't work now, sir. It is now the learning has to be lifelong, and it is no more optional that you don't have to learn at any point of time. It is estimated that the experienced learners, sir, will exceed the traditional learners, and as they will always require, as there will be greater need to reskill and upskill. So, how do you see that universities will reach out to this last set of learners, not only nationally and internationally? Now, since they are experienced workers, sir, they are already working. The online education will only be the one method by which the universities can reach out to them. So, is there any particular strategy for the universities to reach out to those corporate learners who need to reskill and upskill themselves always?
I think the answer is that traditional Indian universities have not used this target market so far. And private universities are trying to actually reach out this target. And of course, but few of like Indira Gandhi National Open University was created in 1986 for this kind of target market only. And following that experiment, when they found that this experiment are successful and large number of experienced people or experienced learners are joining these courses, which are on open courses, followed by this, about 14 state universities, one after the other, were created in India. And so is one of the universities which I now head, as Madhya Pradesh Bhoj Open University was created in 1991, which started this program, online program, which distance learning programs by 1996. So I tell you, and you may be surprised that the total number of students in Indira Gandhi Open University at any point of time is 2.5 million. 25 lakh students are registered in Indira Gandhi National Open University at any point of time. Of course, new students join in a much less number, maybe 4 lakhs, 4 to 5 lakh students join every year. But there are other open universities which are catering to this kind of market. And when we started this in Devi Alaya University, way back in MBA distance education program, way back in 1997, I was coordinating that. We offered this program to military defense people who were very near to us, which are located in MHOW, MHOW, military headquarters of war, which is about 20 kilometers from Indore. So we offered this program, and that program became very popular. So there have been some experiment here and there, and I would say that these experiments to cater to experienced learners, housewives, executives, mid-career executives, to solve their mid-career problems, even by IIMs and IITs, have been in silos. They have not been using this as a regular methodology, and hardly their 2%, 3%, 5% income comes from this, and their registration also, hardly 1% registration come from these kind of learners. But as you rightly said, if we give actual weightage and offer the right kind of programs which are required for these people, I would say again, the strategy would be quality program. Because you are an experienced manager, and if I start teaching you bullshit on fundamentals of management, only from the same way that these are the industries and these are the role of managers, you will shut down that slide, and you will shut down that video, and you will say, this I know, I've been doing this for last 10 years. So I'm not going to buy this kind of course. So this kind of learners are going to increase, and especially with the pandemic kind of situations, we have learned to relearn whole life, and this number is going to grow, and universities will have to create a strategy, separate strategy, for catering to this kind of market. Of course, now at this point of time, Many of the private universities have paid a lot of attention to catering to executive market, and of course some private players in the field of software, those who are offering online services, they are offering some courses to corporate world. But so far university accredited courses are very less for the online space, and or otherwise ODL space also. And you are right in bringing about our attention to this market, which is going to be key market or at least equivalent market by 2030.
Yes.
And by after 2030, by 2035, 2040, it is going to exceed the regular market or routine young market.
So that market comes out to be a very, very good market, because a bigger market, because there are a lot of learners who are looking at quality education. And as far as the universities, the government universities in particular, they have always been delivering the quality education. So like, as you rightly said, the Delhi University has a cutoff of 9900. So you can imagine the kind of quality education that these universities are offering, and it is very essential that the government universities also start venturing into this segment, sir. Uh, we are just short of time. I will take some questions from our members who
Audience.
are there, participants, sir. So I
Sure.
have been receiving a lot of them. Uh, Sir, there is one thing that is being asked by the participants. How do you measure the quality of content that is available, that is good or bad? How do you measure that quality? There's so much of data that is available. There's so much of content. You're overloaded with content. How
Yes.
do you measure the quality of that content, sir?
By and large, if you just go to internet and start searching any topic, you will get a lot of contents. I would not give them much credit. I will give them a credit for at least uploading a content and making it available to people who are just not knowledgeable, who want to learn for the first time. But the method of evaluating content or online space is same as method of evaluating content in distance and education content. What we do, we get the content created by experts, professors, and we have a team of 2 to 3 professors who actually sit down and then decide. Maybe sometimes 5 professors will give the same content to them and say, give your opinion. So they will say, this paragraph is not good, this chapter is not good, this concept is not good. It's a tedious process, but we have to go through this process at least once in our lifetime, in our life cycle. Only then the quality of content can be evaluated. It is only the experts who can say this content is good or the bad. There I was referring to the same point when I was referring to making a syllabus, that it is the job of an experienced professor, and it is his duty now to give together with the topics, the videos, the websites, the portals, the chapters, from which website you will have to follow. It is his job not to only list that there, it is his job to follow, he read himself and then find out whether it is up to the mark or not up to the mark. So
Right.
it is only experts who can give you information, but if you read it by yourself, you will not be able to find out which content is good quality, which is average quality.
And this you rightly mentioned earlier also, sir, when you were mentioning about the four quadrants of the content,
Yeah,
that
sure,
teachers have to mention everything. So
sure.
there's one very interesting question that has come in. It says that our faculty is not very comfortable with online teaching. How can they be trained? They want to do
Yes,
a norm, because now it has become, it is not a novelty, it is a norm now.
it is a
So
norm. Yeah.
the teachers are also not very comfortable in this online teaching. And since teachers, you cannot change the teachers overnight. So how do you make them comfortable?
Yes, you cannot train them. There are multiple reasons why they are not comfortable. One of the basic reason is they have a camera phobia. Secondly, they have another phobia that I am being watched by not only my student, maybe anybody can barge in. Most of these Zoom and other things, they are not very secure or safe. Once you said they sent a mail with the password, I can forward it to anybody by WhatsApp or anything, and anybody else can join or may record my session or do anything with my session and then criticize me. They can make mockery of my lecture at any point of time on any social media. So people are afraid of for this also. Thirdly, they are not confident of their own knowledge. Those who are not confident of their own knowledge. Fourthly, delivery mechanism, pedagogy, the
Yes.
methodology, which is now called as andragogy,
Yes.
not pedagogy. So, fourthly, what is their methodology of teaching to the student? And fifthly, they are not sure whether this medium is actually, they are unable to get the real-time feedback which a senior teacher can, just by looking to the faces of student in the first 10 minutes of the lecture, can say whether students are actually getting me or not getting me. After half an hour, he can quickly say that most of the students are getting bored on my lecture. So here I cannot see all the students together in a class. So I cannot see the reaction. So I cannot amend according to immediately. According to the response of the students, I cannot amend quickly. I can amend if I start asking questions just in 10 minutes. So this is the problem of why teachers are afraid of going online. You're right. But what is the method of training? So training method would be, since this is a new normal, train them through online only. if
Rightly
if
said.
you can train them through online, I mean that is the best methodology to train them through online. So give them training online and ask them to now take a class and become yourself a student, and then give them a feedback on email that this portion was good, this portion was bad. It is like a real on time rehearsal, live rehearsal. If you just send them to the class and student will, they don't like and they say happy hooray, we don't want this teacher, ask him to go back, sir, go back, go back, go back, we want we want to go for GT today. So this cannot happen on this. People can shut down all computers, all students can shut down their laptops or desktops. This can happen if you are too boring. I don't think in my session people have shut down their laptops so
No, no.
far.
So everybody is very engaged into it.
Yes, so far,
Right.
but it can happen. So give them a training online, physically 1 or 2 sessions, then ask them to start a classes, handhold them for 10 or 5 or 10 sessions, and they
So,
will be very confident. I mean, it's not a big deal. But let me tell you, I've been using this method of online teaching since, as you have mentioned in your
almost
introduction,
like me.
since 2007, when there
Yes.
was no internet, when there was no connectivity, we were working on 2G.
Yes.
That time I started using this medium. And see, today I feel very happy that what I could not bring to the people so far, pandemic has already brought it. So I'm thankful to pandemic in this way. Of course, not in any other way, but they have given a new normal, which is very good. So training is always possible, and one should give them a proper training.
So there is one very pertinent question particular to India. India has got a very low internet connectivity or very low internet penetration. And because of this pandemic, there has been certain set of students who have not been able to undergo the learning process. Sir. So what we say that there has been a digital divide. Some people who can afford digital and online learnings, they have been able to learn, and there's some set of learners who, because they were not able to afford digital medium, they have not been able to learn. Sir, what do you think that what should be the way forward for the people who cannot afford the digital media and still want to learn in this time of pandemic, sir?
Yes, we have to, like YouTube has come up with a methodology where you download and without internet, you later on read those, review those lectures. So we'll have to create most of the interesting mobile apps, one, where digital divide can be reduced. And like the number of internet user in India has crossed about 40 crores, 50 crores. So 40 crore people, if you have number of student is only 4 crores in regular system. And number of student in our online system is only 5 million. So if 40 crore people have use your internet and only 4 crore are students and only 50 lakhs are the students in online. So I think actually to whomsoever we want to reach, they all have internet. This is one way of looking at it. But another way of looking at it, as what you suggested is, what you asked is that there is a big digital divide in rural areas and villages. People don't have internet. Therefore, I after good research, I used Doordarshan or television for this method. So you have to use alternative methods and universities will have to provide free computer rooms to the rural students who can come on Saturdays and Sunday to the nearest of your centers, and then they can attend. Like I can tell you, my university has already more than 270 centers in the state of Madhya Pradesh, and this year, this month, we are going to increase it to about 450 odd centers in the state, and we will see to it that in all our 450 centers there is a computer and at least 2 Mbps line coming. So if even if 2 Mbps line coming and there are 5 to 10 computers, students from the nearest of the places like 20, 30, 40 kilometers, they will have to travel. They come on Sunday, read everything online which is available, bring a pen drive, take your material on your pen drive, put it on your mobile or internet bus, but you don't have a computer at home, you don't have laptops at home. So that is a digital divide, and that will come only when it is digital divide is reduced. But we can only try by offering them computer, internet-based computer facility in the universities and colleges.
So last question, we are already running short of time. I
Yeah,
will
we
ask
already have exceeded rather.
one last question I will take from the audience.
Sure, please,
Uh,
please.
it basically sums up everything. Sir, it says that, do you see online education as the harbinger of education revolution in the country, sir?
It is actually, without which you cannot go to mass level or mass scale. It is only whenever even US universities started this online education, everybody asked one question while they were testing the software or the platform. Is it scalable? But to maybe to your surprise and to my surprise, none of the US universities except Phoenix or two, three other universities, except them, there are no more than 100,000 students in any of the US universities. So there are too many universities and very few students everywhere. So, but scalability, they have created a robust software, robust platform, but scalability, of course, it is inbuilt, but that was not utilized. India is a reverse case. We have to start with a scalable model.
Yes.
India
Yes.
is a reverse case. You cannot have a model for 2,000 people and then upgrade it to 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. Like Maharashtra Open University already has 4 lakh students. So can you start a model where only 15,000 students can be accommodated in a particular course? No. So you have to start with a scalable model, and that scalability will come only through online learning. So online learning is going to be an integral part of Indian education system. It is going to be a key catalyst in increasing the GER, and whatever 5 million students, new students to empower, we are discussing today, to empower, how to empower 5 million new students through online learning. They will be empowered only through this methodology. And the statistics which I put to you, that 40 crore people have internet today in India. They use internet today in India. And if we, out of distance education of 5 million people, if we just bring them together, because it is the problem of us, we have not gone to them and told them that here is a quality material available. You can learn, you can upgrade, you can get a good jobs, you can upgrade, and quickly online campuses are also organized online method. So if we can tell them this, if we can create a confidence in people, not only 5 million people, I would expect 10 million people to come in an online gamut web, and gradually India will become a great place to learn and to earn degree and experiences in the world. And last comment from my side, because I'm a professor of international marketing and brand management, I would like to see a day by within 10 years down the line, and actually we are working on that, we are already working on that, that foreign students are joining our online programs, and our online programs are reaching to not only in Africa and Southeast Asian continent, European continent, and American continent.
That is
Because what is our edge is the cost, price points. But let them get a confidence that our quality is like the quality of their own programs, and our price points are going to actually bring down the barriers of entry into Indian open market. And next 5 years, I see a big wave of Indian universities offering online programs, not only to Indians, also to foreigners. Thank you.
Sir, it was really very enlightening conversation with you, sir. Your views provided new insights, sir, and very aptly reflected on the future prevalence of online education. Sir, I, on behalf of School Guru as well as on my personal behalf, thank you for sparing your valuable time to be part of this conversation, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you, audience, for your participation.
Yeah, best of luck to everyone, all the listeners. Okay, bye-bye.
Happy. Have a great evening and a happy weekend, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you.